John, back here again, sir. Absolute pleasure. I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
been
Thanks for having me again.
yeah, thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. I think it's been a little bit over a year now since you last came on.
I I think so. It was like September of 2021.
Oh, okay. It's a little bit over
Yeah,
a year ago.
yeah.
Well, it's nice to have you back,
Uh,
John.
I feel right at home.
You're a fan favorite.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You have a cat. You have a cat now. I see.
The cat's been here and he was just sleeping. Now he's up and about, so that's gonna be an issue, but I'll deal with that when that it comes along. But yeah, other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I'm waiting on him
Nice.
to brush up against the chair because when he does, it picks up in the mic. So that's always nice. I try to keep him outside of the room, but these are animals, John. You know how it
Yeah,
goes.
there's only so much you can do.
There's only so much professionalism I can bring to this table, and this just it supersedes it. So I don't know what to do at this point.
There's only so much professionalism I can bring to the table too. So
Right. So I mean,
we're
we're both
good.
doing our darndest.
Yeah. I live in a tiny little room in Brooklyn now, and the train goes right past my bedroom window, and it's incredibly loud. So we'll probably hear that a couple times.
That's good.
Um, and just sirens and people honking and screaming at each other. It's a lovely
Sure.
world out there. Yeah,
Classic New York moment.
classic. Yeah.
The last time we spoke,
Uh,
you weren't in New York, where you were at your parents' house, right?
yeah, I was like I was about to leave on tour for a while, and I was subletting a bunch, and that sublet ended, and I was leaving on tour, so I was in New Jersey at my parents' house. But I don't live with my parents. Okay,
That's on
just
the record. That's put on now.
yeah. But I'm in Bushwick in Brooklyn right now. Um, and since then, I mean, I've been in two or three other sublets in Brooklyn. I've kind of been bouncing around, and I kind of landed in this spot recently. I think in December, and I think I'm here until the spring or summer, and then I'm gonna move to Red Hook and like actually cozy down.
In Red Hooks, New Jersey.
I mean, it's like basically New Jersey, but it's New York City. But
Okay.
you can see the Statue of Liberty. It's a nice little quiet neighborhood. Which did you know that the Statue of Liberty is actually in New Jersey?
I did not know that. Is that by like technicality, I guess?
It's in New Jersey. It's
Wow.
like if you look at a map, it's clearly on the New Jersey side. It's just facing New York, and New York is just trying to like take whatever they can.
Right. Classic New York.
It's not fair. It's like the it's part of New York City. It's part of their image, and they're just like stealing it from Jersey. Also, Staten Island, dude, that's New Jersey.
People have a real problem with it. I've heard that before as well. I went to New York back in October and I was talking to some guy at a bar. I think it was called Easy Lover Bar over there in Brooklyn. And this guy
Where
was saying, like, yeah, Staten Island's basically New Jersey. I was
it
like, okay.
is,
It's common
but
consensus.
but
You're not
but New York, like they take that too. Also, like there are several New York sports teams that their stadiums are in New Jersey, like the Jets.
mm-hmm.
They're in New Jersey, but they're the New York Jets. Like, come on, give New Jersey something. We need something. But
People,
whatever.
yeah, I don't know how the negative connotation uh became just the forefront for New Jersey, but everybody just seems to not like it for some reason. I don't know why.
I
It
don't
seems fine.
know.
I've never been there though, I'll be honest. So I'm kind of speaking from just an outsider perspective on this, but I don't really
Yeah,
see a problem with it.
no. If you visit, just let me know. I'll show you all the good spots.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. I'm gonna make my way over there to the East Coast
Yeah,
to visit New Jersey. But
you
yeah,
should.
it's a it's an interesting. New York's a very interesting place, and I bet New Jersey is as well.
Yeah, for different reasons. I'm watching The Sopranos right now, so
Oh, okay,
I'm really feeling my Jersey pride. You
yeah,
know,
that'll rev it up.
yeah, relating to all these awful men. Like, it's such a crazy show, but my girlfriend and I are watching it. I've seen the first season like 2 or 3 times, uh, but I've never seen the whole thing. So I feel like I owe it to myself to actually watch it.
So you just kept on bouncing between the two seasons for a bit, and then you said, "All right, let's finally get into it."
Well, yeah, I think I started watching it years ago when I was like sick with the flu, and this is like pre me having any streaming services. So I just rented the first season from the library, like DVD style, and watched it. I think that's how I watched it last time. Um, but I'm excited to get into it.
That's good. I feel like I've seen a lot of incomplete Sopranos box sets just out and about. I feel like that's a very common thing to see, like season 1 and 2 or season like 3 and 4, never all
Yeah.
together. Because like what, there's like 7 seasons or something like that.
I think there's six, but
Six
there could be
seasons.
seven. I don't know. Yeah, in that ballpark. Yeah.
You'll find out eventually because it'll just be over, and you're like, okay, yeah, number 7.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now with my life.
No, that's good. I think that's a
Watching The
productive use of
Sopranos.
time. I
I
uh
think so too.
I finally got started going watching the Wire. And watching the
Never,
Wire.
never seen it. Here, it's
It,
great.
I've heard the same thing. Very slow at the beginning. I will say that. That's a disclaimer on my end that it is very slow.
I'm a slow guy, so it's fine.
I guess it's a build, but well, I mean, I'll
Yeah.
report back to you when I finish it. I'll tell you if it's worth the watch or not.
I don't like movies or TV shows that are too fast. Like I just saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it was great, but it was just like obviously like it was like boom, boom, boom. So much happening so quickly. Like a guy like me, I need some time to like absorb what just happened. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I like a good I like a good mid tempo because I don't like them when they're too slow either. I saw After Sun and I thought that was a little too slow.
After Son
After Sun.
or After Sun. Okay. Is it a
It
new movie?
was yeah, it's in theaters right now. It's really good. It's a beautiful film, but it was kind of slow. But I also appreciate the fact that it was slow in some ways. But it was great. I suggest seeing it. It's very sad. But I
It
can't
was
feel
great. I suggest seeing it. It's very sad.
yeah. I can't feel anything. So it was, I can get through it. Yeah.
You can look at other people like, oh, they're sad. Okay, I gotta.
Yeah, I was picking up cues from everyone else.
Yeah.
So
You
then I started fake crying just to like fit in with everyone.
sure. Because you are well versed in the body language of other people. That's what you read.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Very good. Has there been uh a movie or a TV show that everybody told you, oh, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it, and it didn't live up to the hype? You're just like, this was just it was a movie or a TV show. There wasn't anything really special about it.
Uh, I mean, I feel like there's so many, like so many friends or everyone's constantly suggesting things to watch because there's so much. And in my opinion, like how can they all actually be good? You
True.
know, I think my drummer Noah suggested for me to watch this series called like The Baby or something about this baby that kills people or something. And I watched like an episode or two and was like, I don't know, I can't deal with this. Also, my girlfriend's trying to make me watch The Bachelor, and I watched like I got through like 3 episodes, and I don't know if I can do it
Very
anymore. But
popular show.
the thing is, when I'm watching it, I'm like, I can't deal with this. This is so stupid. I'm not watching anymore. And then when they show the previews for the next week, I'm like, well, I gotta see what that's about. They're all like crying and freaking out, and I'm like, I have to see what happens next week now. And then I watch them next week.
It keeps on luring you in deeper and
Yeah,
deeper. I mean, at least
But
you get that little whatever 20-second snippet of, oh, what is going to happen next week, and that keeps you enticed. You're not just borely going through it the whole time. There's that little relief at the end of like, okay, I got to see what was
for
said.
sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's quite important.
I forget that people are going to listen to this podcast. I'm sorry to everyone.
No, this is what the people came here for. Movie
Okay, cool.
recommendations, TV, what John is watching currently. This is all. That was a fan submitted question. They said, hey, ask John what he's watching right now. So that's
Was it really? No,
no,
you're lying.
no, it's something that I was
I
interested in.
just watched the Titanic for the first time ever. Have never seen it.
Long one.
Pretty good movie. Pretty good. Turns out it's pretty good.
I feel like I knew the end of it before I watched it, and it kind of turned me off a bit.
Yeah, you're always kind of rooting for like a different outcome, but it seems like it sinks every time.
Every
But,
time I watch it, director's cut doesn't change.
yeah, it's intense. It's so crazy that shit actually happened. So sad. But yeah, I saw that for the first time. What else have I watched recently? American Movie. Have you ever seen that? It's like
No.
a documentary about this independent filmmaker in like it's got to be early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s, and they're just following him around as he's trying to like finish this production he's been working on for so long. And he's just such a mess. It's like an episode of Trailer Park Boys, kind of. He's like such a mess, and he's such a character, and he's like extremely under budget to like finish this film. But it's a really beautiful film about someone like following their dreams. I suggest watching it.
Did that entice you to watch the actual film? Were you kind of interested in seeing his final production or the final whatever
I
you
don't
call
know
it,
if
completed
that's
project?
I don't know if that's like as available to watch online. My friend Noah used to work at a video rental store in Boston, and he said they did have the film that he was working on there. But I honestly don't even know if I would want to see it.
Now, did your friend Noah know this before even knowing that there was a documentary about the process of making this movie?
Nah,
The
I think
documentary.
he discovered it through the documentary, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's a good one. I suggest watching American Movie.
American Movie. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going on a recommendation list.
I'm putting it on there. Yeah.
Very nice. So, I mean, you've been moving around a bit, and this you said like, this is the third place that you moved into since we last spoke.
Yes. Yeah. I've been in New York for about a year and a half, and I've already lived in I think 5 different apartments. Some of them they're like short sublets, and I was like bouncing around. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I finished a record while living here, and I'm just trying to make music, work on art, and I still don't have a job, like a proper job here. I've been getting by on doing animation work for people right now, which has been working for the past month and a half, and I'm seeing how long I can run with it because it's pretty expensive to live here.
But you're making millions, so it doesn't matter. It all evens out at the end.
Yeah,
You're not stressing about it.
millions.
Millions.
Yeah, just working on that kind of shit, getting ready to play some shows this spring and hopefully this summer. I booked like a couple shows on the East Coast, a couple shows on the West Coast. But my band is so busy with other projects that I wasn't able to just like book a whole long tour. But we'll see. Maybe this summer I'll be able to book something a bit longer.
We'll see you in the summertime. We're gonna check back in. We're just gonna get like a little snippet of you saying yes or no that you're going on tour, and we'll put that up.
Yeah.
Tour announcement.
for sure.
Now, John, I gotta just make an assumption here that that's a baker board behind you. Is this true?
It's not quite a baker board, but it's Jim Greco from formerly of Baker. He has like a more boutique skate company called Hammers, and he does limited like screen prints of boards. And it's from Jim Greco's company. Yeah.
Right. So you're turning your back
not quite a Baker board, but
because you're turning your back on Baker. You're done with Baker.
no, I love all skate companies. They're all great.
No, but you're a big fan of Baker, but now not anymore. You're just with Jim Greco. So you're wearing Supras.
No,
You're doing this kind of stuff.
No, I actually got to go to Baker last spring. There's a dude that works there that likes my band, and he hit me up and invited me to the warehouse, and I got to go. It was really cool.
You had that cool hat on last time that we were chatting, and I believe it was a Baker hat.
Yeah.
But now that's a Jim
Yeah,
Greco beanie.
I really I haven't been skateboarding much at all. Like I kind of have completely stopped. But it's been winter time, so I don't know. We'll see.
Sure. And then that's New Jersey Devils, correct? The jersey.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
I was never even really a New Jersey Devils fan growing up because they've just been so bad for so long. But my dad was, because they were great in the 90s. So I have all these hand-me-down Jersey Devils jerseys and sweatshirts and just gear that I still wear because it's, my dad's from the 80s, has sentimental value. But they've just always been a terrible hockey team. But this year, they're one of the best. I don't know what happened. Last year, they were at the bottom of the league. This year, they're like, I think, third right now. Like they're so good this year. I went to a game a couple of weeks ago in Newark, and it was incredible. It felt like a playoff game. Yeah, they really somehow have managed to turn it around. This is a sports podcast, right?
This is a sports podcast. Actually, we're gonna take these calls right now. Jim, what's going on, brother? No, that's great. I'm glad to hear the that you're so passionate about this. That's fantastic. Loyal to the New Jersey.
Not really. I'm like the worst fan you can have. Basically, I don't care about them until they're really good, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I love the Devils.
You're loyal.
But
that's loyalty right there.
That's not loyalty at all. I was a Bruins fan for many years, but yeah, I guess now I'm a Bruins and a Devils fan.
Just like Baker turning your back on it. I understand. These things happen. People change. Alliances change.
It's true. Yeah, I know. What can I say? You live and you learn.
Sure. No, I gotta ask you this, John.
Mm-hmm.
With hanging the board and the t-shirt up, did you drill a hole into the wall to hold these things up, or?
There's just a nail in the wall. I think that it'll support it, though. It seems like it will.
Yeah, it looks pretty sturdy. But
yeah.
Now, when you leave that apartment, will they bill you for that? Will they go, oh, there's holes in your walls, we gotta take a security deposit?
You want to see some shit right now?
I certainly do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going on a tour.
Look at these holes. I did not do this.
Are you sure? I think that was the first attempt.
No, good.
With all those trying to hang it up.
No, it's crazy. I mean, I should technically just fix it, even though I'm not the one that drilled the holes in the wall. There were these shelves on the wall, and they were so ugly, and I took them down, and now there's these gigantic holes in the wall. So technically, I exposed them, but
sure, but you didn't create them.
I didn't create them, but I guess that's what a security deposit is for, huh?
Sure. Now, so when you walked in there for the first time, the shelves were in there when you moved in.
Shelves were in there, and I wish I could show you a picture of how they were installed. My roommates did not install it. I don't want to dox anyone or blow anyone's cover. Sure. It was someone who lived here in the past.
We'll put the
So
information down below.
I have to remember that, people listen to this podcast. It's not private. So,
Yeah,
you know,
whoever was
I
the
can't, I
previous
can't,
tenant listens.
I can't dox them. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I should just fill them in, but I don't think I'm going to be staying here too long.
So out of the three places that you lived so far, is this your least favorite, the middle,
This
or the
is
favorite?
Well, I lived in an amazing loft apartment, dog sitting for my friends in the band Widow's Peak. And they have a piano and like, oh, it's so beautiful. That was really nice. I was only there for like a month and a half, I think. But this is my favorite because it's actually, my room. My belongings are in here. When I was subletting before, I was just staying in other people's rooms, and I was just, surrounded by all of their belongings and wearing all of their clothes when they're not there and stuff like that.
Sure. Classic
Yeah.
subletting culture.
Yeah. I just became them basically
Hmm.
for a couple months. Yeah. But I like this room because it is my own, and these are my belongings. Um, but it's pretty loud, like I said. Train is right there.
But that's good though. It's easy access to the train. Isn't that like what people look for with apartments? Like, oh, it's over whatever,
Yeah,
2 blocks away from the whatever train.
it's true. It's true. It's just pretty loud. Sleep with earplugs in, or else I'm not going to sleep at all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, are you this kind of person that needs some sort of thing going on in the background while sleeping anyways? Or would you prefer to just
Um,
be dead quiet at night?
well, yeah, I like to sleep when there's like people screaming in the streets and sirens and stuff. So it works out perfect. Yeah, that's what I
That's
need.
that's really why you moved there. Is because like you
Yeah,
needed the noise. There wasn't really anything
yeah.
going on where you living before.
Yeah, when I lived in the country, I would just load up on like a YouTube video of 12 hours of
Street
people
fights.
screaming. Yeah, yeah, people screaming in New York City. Yeah.
Just to get the ambiance.
Yeah, you know. But no, I'm just doing earplugs and like a white noise out of my phone, that kind of thing. And like an eye mask. I sleep with one. I'm not joking either.
I'm asked, do you have one of those Ebenezer Scrooge, like the little caps? You
Yeah,
know?
and a little candle that I put out every night. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And then like a night shirt, like one of those long night shirts.
Yes, and I usually fall asleep and put a feather on my face so when I snore it floats up and down. That's what I do.
That's awesome, man. Wow. To live in New York, huh?
It's a whole, it's a whole routine. But we all have our routines.
Yeah, everybody has their process to wind down for the evening.
Yeah.
That is yours.
I still regret naming my band John Andrews and the Yawns. It's only brought me problems because people are like, "Oh, you sounds boring. Are you boring?" Like, well, you should watch this podcast that I was on.
Check it out.
That'll Yeah, that'll answer your question if I'm boring or not.
You tell me.
Um,
You be the
so
judge.
yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't have named my fucking band John Andrews and the Yawns. What I was thinking. I used
No.
to say we're not boring, we're contagious, but I can't say that anymore after COVID.
Yeah, I kind of put a damper on your seal of approval
Yeah.
there.
Did I already make all these jokes in the last podcast? I don't
I
remember.
don't think so. I don't think so.
I
No,
don't,
but
I have no idea what I said.
I love it. John, this is a repeat. We're going over classics, you know? If you
All
did
right,
say
yeah,
them, I don't remember you saying them, but that's great. I
good.
like that we're saying them again.
I hate doing podcasts because I say stupid things, and then also when I have a conversation with someone at a show, I'm like, oh, I hope they didn't watch that podcast and like know that I'm just repeating this joke to them that I clearly say all the time.
Look, when a
Not nothing
comedian,
against nothing against you. I don't wish that no one watches your podcast. I'm just saying.
I mean, the train's already left the station. There's no retreating from this. It's just up and up and up from here, John. So I'm sorry if you don't want 625,000 people coming up to you about this. I mean, you know the drill. You're a
Yeah.
you're a veteran. You're a veteran of this
Yeah.
podcast, John. A staple of it. I feel like when I have people back on and people are like, a bit more loose, which I love, and we can get into nitty gritty stuff like TV shows and whatnot, and maybe talk about music if we have the time.
We could talk about the real technical aspects of music. That's what interests me now.
Sure, I would get into math rock, so that's kind of down my lane, anyways.
Nice.
Really intricate
Did
stuff.
you play math rock growing up, or you were
No,
into it?
I mean,
No.
I would listen to Hella every once in a while, but that's like as far as I delved into that. I'm not
Yeah,
too
I don't actually
keen
know
on what
anything
that
about.
is, but
I don't know anything about it, to be honest. But I know that it gets into prog, and then that gets into like jam bands and stuff. But
prog is cool. Krautrock is really rad. I like
yeah,
Can and
same.
that other one that I can't remember the name of.
The Grateful Dead.
That's it. Classic krautrock band.
Did you ever
That one's
listen
really cool.
to? I mean, different world, but you ever listen to Ultimate Painting?
No, I
Really?
haven't.
Oh god, Ultimate Painting was my favorite band. They broke up maybe like 5 years ago or so. They have 3 records. Should listen to all 3 of them. Incredible.
In chronological order.
Yeah, the second one is my favorite. The second one is my favorite for sure, but they're all really good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
listen
gonna
to
check it
Ultimate
out.
Painting. You should. They're not a band anymore. I think they had yeah, they broke up and just totally stopped performing. But one of my favorite bands
So,
that I was like lucky enough to see many times.
oh, you see it multiple times.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like they were from the UK, and they toured the States pretty often. I played a handful of shows with them.
Wow.
Um, yeah, you should listen to them.
All right, I'll give it a listen. Now, let me ask you this, John. What band have you seen the most times in person?
The most times, Michael Hurley,
Wow.
Michael Hurley, and Built to Spill. I think those two. I think I've seen Michael Hurley 13 times.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
a lot of times. But it's been many years at this point. He used to do an East Coast tour every spring, and I would just follow him around. I'd go to like every single date, basically. um, and then I've seen him at, like Woodsist Fest, and um, where else? Pickathon. He would play Pickathon. Yeah, I've seen him 13 times. I had a few run-ins with him. Like he eventually knew who I was at a certain point, just because I was like the kid that was at his shows, like trying to talk to him. But we hung out one night at Woods's Fest, like um because he's from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, which is like right across the river where I'm from. And we like talked on like for like an hour, and I was like, this is sick. I'm talking to like my musical hero. And he like invited me to stay at his house. He was like, anytime you're through Astoria, you can stay with me. And I emailed him. I think he just like totally forgot.
You gotta just show up. You gotta find out where he lives. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm John. We spoke
I'm
I don't know,
John. 10 years ago, you said I could stay at your house. Yeah, he would
10
love
years
that, I'm
ago.
sure.
2012,
Um,
2013 rather.
yeah, but Built to Spill is. I don't think I've seen them 13 times. How many times have I seen them? Probably like 7 times or something. But they were one of my favorite bands growing up, and still to this day, like, are the best. I just saw them a few months ago when Widow's Peak was on tour with Sylvie. The venue right next door, Built to Spill, was playing just by chance, and the promoter was like, "Yeah, you can like pop in there if you want." And it was so good. He covered Kate LeBon, "Are You With Me Now?" It was really good.
Living where you are, do you know the train schedule now? Do you know like what time the train will be passing by?
Um, well, my roommate just told me the hack. If you're trying to get the M or the J train, um, if it goes by the window, that's when you leave the apartment. Because by the time you walk to the station and go up the stairs, another one will be coming like exactly at that moment. So that's a little hack that I learned just recently, actually.
Those New York City hacks. You
Yeah,
learn them.
yeah,
Tricks of the trade.
for
Or
sure.
tricks of the train, perhaps.
Tricks of the train. There you go.
That's a little
I
pun
sh-
there.
I sh- uh, Here's this record. This is my roommate's record. Bobby Love Song. That's a great record. Do you
Bobby
know it?
Love song. I don't.
Yeah.
Who put that one out?
Woodsis just put it out.
Woods just putting
Great
out the
record.
heat. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you bring that in there just so you could plug it on here? We're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
bleep it. We're gonna bleep it until we can get the money for that.
I'm just plugging stuff.
No Bobby Love
That's
song. Go check it out. That's John's recommendation.
an ultimate painting, but they've broken up years ago.
And Ultimate Painting.
Yeah.
Those are the and maybe Sopranos seasons 1 and 2. Maybe if you have time.
Yeah, check it out if you've never heard of it before. Check it out.
I gotta get going on that, but I'm watching The Wire, as previously mentioned, and I gotta finish that up before I start on The Sopranos. And I'm gonna dive real deep into it. Because I see a lot of stuff on Instagram regarding The Sopranos. So
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone there's like so many memes, so many screenshots. It's just everywhere for some reason. We met Stevie Van Zandt in an airport once, in New York. He was wearing head to toe plaid, like 'cause he always wears his like head bandana and then his shirt and his pants were all the same plaid. And my bandmate Jarvis was like, John, like he was standing in line ahead of us getting like a bagel or something. And Jarvis was like, John, like he handed me his phone and was like, take a picture of me with him. But I didn't realize that it was Stevie Van Zandt somehow. And I was just like, oh, you just want me to take your picture with this weird guy? Like, no, that's mean. And then he was like, it's Stevie Van Zandt. And I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, I took a picture of them, but I was too embarrassed to ask to have my picture taken. I'm weird with that stuff. I don't know. Shouldn't
yeah,
matter though.
it
Doesn't
could
matter.
it could be a difficult situation, or if you see
Yeah.
somebody famous, you don't want to bother them. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I never want to bother someone. But at the same time, like, do they really care? They probably care sometimes. It depends on who it is. Like I saw Patti Smith once, and I think she doesn't care. I think she likes when people go up to her.
you think so?
Yeah, because she says like in her books that or like or in interviews and stuff, like she used to be the person going up to artists that she admired and talking
Mm.
to them when she was younger. So I don't think she really cares when people go up to her. I think she appreciates it.
Yeah, but she was going into
Uh,
like burrows and stuff. Like she was going into like just crazy amounts of people.
true. Yeah, yeah.
Different
Um,
situation.
but yeah, I didn't say hi to her. She was at my friend was like performing, doing this like performance art at this museum, and we were all sitting around cross-legged on the floor watching him, and someone just came up and sat right next to me, and I looked over and it was Patti Smith. I was like, whoa, crazy, very cool. And then she did like a surprise like poetry reading for everyone. It was really cool. And my friend did go up to her and say something, but I don't know, I couldn't do it.
And your friend was like,
Uh,
why did you come up here and do this? I'm performing now. It's very rude of you.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for stealing my yeah.
Who do you
But
know here? Are you scheduled to play? Are you on the bill? Like that's what she's asking.
yeah.
Patty Smith.
Um,
I saw Patty Smith once. Not in
perform.
person. Yeah, just perform.
Nice.
Not just
Was she
perform, but
wearing
yeah, she performed.
was she wearing shoes?
I couldn't tell. I was way, way, way far away. But I
Mm.
was like, all right, there's Penny Smith.
Wasn't wearing shoes when I saw her play. Barefoot on stage, Wells Fargo Center.
That's better inside, but like, was she riding the train or getting there without shoes on? No, that's the issue.
Nah. She had shoes. She's just a freak, so she took them off when she was performing. I get
Oh,
it.
okay. Okay.
Um,
Have you ever performed without any shoes on, John? Ever? Barefoot?
I used to play drums with no shoes on, but I had
That's
socks on. It was
that's
never.
insane. That's
No, it's not.
crazy. Socks.
Not socks, just not like total barefoot. That would be kind of weird.
There's just no
Yeah.
why. That's crazy. That's a wild thing you just said. I hope people come up to you and ask you at that why the socks.
Um, well, I used to wear big boots. I mean, I still do, but I would wear big boots on tour. I don't feel like bringing an extra pair of shoes, and then I would place these on the ground right next to me. And you know what it's perfect for? Putting your drink, like a beer bottle. Put a beer bottle in there,
Right.
and yeah.
I,
Anyway,
I I understand it serves a purpose once it's done, but however, I just couldn't imagine playing drums with socks on or bare feet.
well, that's probably why I don't play drums and bands anymore.
To each
That
its own,
was
though, John. I'm not
Yeah.
judging you. I'm just saying that that's crazy. But all right. So playing drums without any shoes on, and I get it. Playing with boots on is difficult. I get that.
Okay. In my defense, also, I played drums in Hand Habits, and at
Hmm.
that moment, like Hand Habits was such a delicate, quiet band with a lot of subtlety, and I I wanted to like. It sounds so weird, but I wanted to like feel the kick drum more when I was playing.
I get that. I
Yeah,
totally understand that, and I understand where you're coming from with like just the tone of the band itself. You need to be kind of more in tune with it. I totally understand that. You want to be with it more. Right.
yeah.
I'm with you. It's just the fact of putting my socks on the pedals is where I have the issue.
You know what? Your socks are cleaner than the bottom of your shoes.
100% true, and I'm not trying to
But
change that. Is the
this is
thing.
like a weird stigma that we have about not having shoes on. Like your shoes are fucking gross. You're just walking around in the pissy streets. There's just poop and pee everywhere in New York City.
Mhm.
If your shoes are touching your kick pedal, kind of gross. You need to take your shoes off. And your socks, what? You just clean them that this like they're a brand new pair of socks, hopefully. They're clean. It's not a big deal. So this this stigma needs to end.
Okay, but what about this then? All right. So I use my socks, right? Let's say that I am playing the drums with my socks on. Then I'm climbing. Sometimes I climb into bed with socks. Sometimes I like lay down and I have my socks on.
Straight to jail. Illegal.
That's
Can't
it.
sleep with socks on. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm sleeping with. Sometimes I do sleep with socks on. Sometimes I forget to take them off. That's on me. I get a little bit. You know, I put on my nightcap and get my candle lit and put on my nightshirt. Sometimes I forget to take my socks off, man. You've been there before. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really
I don't
bad
know.
feeling when you wake up and your socks are on. You're like, oh shit, the socks have been
Yeah.
on the whole night. Now I have to
It's
go
terrible.
take a shower and then put new socks back on, and that doesn't feel too good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to fix your problems.
I know. Yeah. Hey, please leave a comment below on what I should be doing about this situation.
I'm convinced that this isn't really a podcast and that you are just seeking therapy
Right.
and that this is your way of getting free therapy
It
from
is.
from musicians who barely had their lives together to begin with.
I look at you guys. I go, these guys got it figured out. Let me ask them. That's why I project my feelings. Like, what would you do? Hypothetically, if you were me, what would you do about the sock situation? You know,
Yeah,
I like to
yeah.
pose crazy what ifs like that.
I'm just pulling your leg. There's
No,
nothing wrong with. I miss going to therapy. I did it for a little bit last year and it was great. But
that's good.
got too expensive. Got too expensive, so I had to stop.
So that's not so good. But up to that point. Do whatever you got to do to make yourself happy.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
my motto.
Yeah,
Controversial opinion, but
I have to have a little sprinkle of optimism in here,
right.
so that's it.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I'm glad that we're into this territory. We started out real fun talking about New York and everything, and Patty Smith. And now we're on the darker side, the B side.
Yeah.
No, John. Now listen, we do have to talk about music here, and I'm sorry to cut it. But what
You're starting to break up. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Let me just fix the connection. No, like you mentioned before, you recorded a new album. Was it in this apartment or was it in the previous two apartments?
Many apartments ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was still living in New Hampshire when I first started working on this record. It was like the last month of living in New Hampshire. I booked some time with my friend Rick Spataro. He plays in this band Florist, and he's a really talented engineer and has a nice little setup just in his apartment. It was in Albany, New York. So I booked 2 days in Albany with him and tracked a bunch. And then I think I booked maybe like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 more sessions with him after I did live in the city, to finish tracking. So it was, yeah, some of it was recorded in Albany. Some of it was recorded like, he had an apartment up near like Central Park for a little bit, and did a lot of vocals there. I recorded some of it with Kevin Bascow. I don't know if you know his music at all.
Yes, yeah.
I
Rubber Gun,
Rubber Band Gun.
Rubber
Yeah,
Band
yeah.
Gun.
I recorded the single that's out now. I recorded that with Kevin Bascow at his home studio in Philadelphia. It's called Historic New Jersey. So yeah, kind of around New York and a couple days in Philly, and we did all the strings at the Mexican Summer Studio in Greenpoint, New York. My friend Simon Haynes, he has a band called Tradici Baci, and he did a lot of the string. He did like 90% of the string arrangements, and got together all the musicians for that. I did some of the string arrangements on my own. I like listened to the songs and would hum what I was thinking, and then he transposed what I hummed. And those voice memos that I sent him are just psychotic. Maybe the box set someday will have those.
Yeah, in the actually, if you pre-order the album now, you will be there's a little download card that will have all the original voice memos.
Yeah, people want to hear that.
Yeah, that's what.
But yeah,
that's what people come here for. It's to get the nitty gritty, and make sure to use the promo code Vineyard to get those for free.
It is the first album that I recorded like pretty much all live with a band in a room, like everything at the same time. Because like
everything
record
everywhere all at once, right?
Everything everywhere all at once, yes, except for the strings and like a few overdubs. But like records that I've made in the past, I play like 90% of the instruments, and I would just build it up like from drums, and then you hear this? It's crazy out there.
What is it a siren? No, I can't. Was it the
right.
train? What is it? Let me know, John. I gotta know. I haven't been there in a few months.
There's all sorts of shit going on. It's crazy. But yeah, this is the first record that I did live with a full band, and now I'm like, why haven't I always done it like this? It's a very rewarding feeling playing music with your friends. Don't know if anyone's ever said that before, but
that's a concept I'm not familiar with, but I am now. It's like Plato's allegory of the cave. New perspective on it. John, I got to ask you this. Since taking a step back, since living in New York, what has been like the craziest shit that you've seen on the street that you just kept on walking, like you just ignored? Because there's a lot of like, whoa, to me at least, it's like, whoa, that's kind of out
Uh,
there?
like, well, can I just tell you a funny story?
Please, please, John, please.
That maybe doesn't necessarily um describe that, but
I want to hear
I
it
mean,
anyways.
the people I'm really afraid of are the ones that are spending $25 on a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, I like, went to see Star Wars on Christmas Day at Film Forum, and
Sure, as you do.
yeah, that's a Christmas movie for some reason. It is, but um, there's just this little kid and his dad, and his dad was just like so oblivious and unaware, and the kid was just a monster. Just like I knew instantly, I was like, this kid's going to be a problem in the theater. Like, this is going to be tough because it wasn't.
This was
It,
pre getting into the theater, by the way. This is on like the
yeah, when
line.
we were like waiting in line to like
Oh,
get into to Star Wars, yeah, and I was like, this kid's going to be an issue, and also keeping in mind like it's Christmas, it's Star Wars, it's not going to be the typical jaded film forum crowd, you know. Um, and the kid was just the monster, and the dad wasn't really doing anything about it, just talking through the whole entire film. And
on his
there was
phone.
one point, no, just like
Oh,
talking.
okay.
Yeah, I think like you get three strikes talking in a movie, I can't deal with it. Like maybe like a whisper here and there, but come on.
Maybe an
Um,
excuse me. That's fine. If you need
yeah,
to.
and this kid started ripping the Velcro on his shoes. He was like probably like 6 years old or so. Started ripping the Velcro on his shoes like over and over again, and I was like building up in me, and I was like, I can't deal with this anymore, and I shushed him. I was like, shh.
Oh, you threw a
But
shush.
my shush lined up perfectly with him ripping the Velcro shoe. So it was like, shh. I was like, and then I think his dad called on and finally was like, please settle down. But that's who I'm afraid of in New York.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rightfully so.
yeah.
That's insane that
Uh,
that perfectly lined up. That there's a lot of things
I
that have
know.
to happen or in order for that
I
to be in play at
Yeah,
the same time. Wow.
yeah. But you know, out of all the movies that I go to, people are usually pretty respectful and quiet. It's really popular. People in New York like take pictures of the screen in movies, like post it on Instagram, and that's annoying to me because like their flashes will go off accidentally, and it's just like just watch the movie,
Yeah, just
you know.
be present for the moment.
Yeah. Um, but I mean it's a big theme in my upcoming record.
All
The
right.
album art
First of
is
all,
me.
John, nice transition. That was fucking sleek, dude. I didn't
Yeah,
mean to derail it, but I was like, ooh, that's professionalism right there. Woo.
yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm always just thinking about myself and how I can bring a conversation back to, you know,
You
what I
yeah,
want to me at all moments. So I'm always looking for that.
you're captain. You're steering
Yeah,
the ship. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. When I moved back to I went to film school when I was probably like 21 and dropped out to play music and start touring with my old band. And when I moved back here, I kind of gained an appreciation for film again because I don't know, the past 10 years I kind of like stopped going to movies. I really haven't watched too many films. Like I kind of I don't know. After I dropped out of school, I was like, I can't deal with like I would see a movie here and there, but when I moved back to New York, my friend Michael Stasiak would bring me to film forum all the time. Um, I just kind of like fell in love with the idea of becoming a filmmaker again, even though I've taken zero steps towards that. But I'm like, you know, it's part of the reason why I do animations too, because I still want to have one foot in that world, but I don't necessarily have a crew to work with. I don't necessarily have the budget or the time to make a film with other people. But when I work on animations, it's something that I can do on my own in my spare time. Um, and I can still try to my goal is in the next 5 or so years to make a like a 20-minute short film, write it, animate it, and then score it, and then release the soundtrack to it, kind of like Yellow Submarine or like Harry Nilsson The Point style. Um, that's like my 5-year plan.
That's
But
awesome.
I've been saying that for like 2 years, so I don't know.
Okay, you still got time. You still got some years, dude. No worries.
Yeah. But I definitely want to do that. I'm really a terrible writer though, so part of me thinks that I should just like adapt a story that already exists or something,
Mm.
like Toy Story or something.
Yeah, some like a
Yeah,
like a classic film. Sure.
yeah. Wally. Yeah,
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 pieces of cinema.
yeah. I
No,
feel like I think I made that joke last podcast. I think
we're
did I? I don't
I
know. Doesn't
I
matter.
you know what? I used to go back and listen and like, oh, I can't ask that question. I can't ask that question. But
It
I
doesn't
think
doesn't matter.
I think as years go on, I go, okay, like let me ask about this. Let me ask about that.
Yeah,
And I try to keep it fresh. But
me
I
too.
love to bring on good guests. I had Robert Earl Thomas on here.
Yeah, he is my
Um,
good friend. He lives right down the street.
I really hope that you guys are good friends because you guys are in a band together. Yeah.
Yeah, we
I felt
are.
like you guys would be close.
We're pretty close. Yeah, yeah. I love Robert.
Yeah.
He's playing. I play keys in his band sometimes, like his solo project,
Mhm.
and I've been playing keys in Widow's Peak for like a year and a half. And yeah, they're the best.
Yeah. Good.
Widow's Peak
Good.
is like a classic New York band, in my opinion. They've been putting out great records for like 12 years now, which is insane.
Yeah. That's it. That's a good chunk of time. Yeah. Go check him out and go check out that Robert Earl Thomas interview as well. Going back to the point of the film and
Mhm.
animation and music, that all combines for you within the atmosphere of a music video, though, does it not?
Yeah, it
All those worlds
does.
kind of colliding.
Yeah, I love that aspect of the like record cycle, like trying to package together this whole concept or you know theme. And yeah, I was kind of stressing on making this music video for the last single, um, but you know, I I kind of like tried my best to tie together all these loose ideas and concepts, and yeah, it's mostly animated, and I'm working on another music video pretty soon, with this filmmaker, uh, for the second video. I love it when it all works out, and
You
you
love when a plan
like
comes together. I Yeah.
yes, I do, but
I knew what you wanted to say.
I love when it all works out, but it's really difficult too. Like there's always some type of obstacle or something that doesn't go as planned, and that's um in filmmaking, like that seems to always happen. I feel like the only music video that I've made that was like exactly how I was envisioning it beforehand was this music video for a song called Drivers that I did years ago when we were like playing ice hockey, and uh, that pretty much came together exactly how I was imagining it. Often when you get an idea, the idea like evolves through the progress and like through the process of making it. and sometimes you end up with something a little different than you originally had planned,
Right.
which is also cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. The next music video, I'm getting a little stressed out about. I get really stressed about making videos and just hoping that they turn out okay. And you know, it's
Just
part of
the stress of the
part
big city.
part of making art, I guess. I went to a figure drawing class. Yes, it wasn't a class, it was just figure drawing last night. And it was so much fun. I've never done it before. There's like a nude model and you're drawing them, and uh hands are like really difficult for me to draw. So
Definitely.
but I feel pretty confident, and I don't like I've never really tried to draw things in the proper proportion. Like I've never really studied the like anatomy of a body before. Like my cartoon characters are just like ridiculous, and I don't
It's
know.
a cartoon. It's not supposed to be proportionate to.
Exactly. So it's a fun skill to have, and or to like work on, fun skill to work on. But I was feeling pretty good about some of my drawings until I get to the hands, and the hands are just like so strange looking. I don't know. Um, but it was really fun. It was a great deal. My girlfriend suggested it. It was $20 to go,
Ooh.
and then you can drink for free. They have free
Okay.
beer there.
Cool.
So, you spend $20 going out to a bar in general.
Sure.
Uh,
So
although
you got your $20 worth.
yeah,
How many beers you drink?
although
9?
you don't want to drink too many, because then, you know, I don't you don't want to take advantage of it. Like there weren't any bros there just for the beer.
I call that getting
Yeah.
abstract to drink 9
Yeah.
beers there.
Yeah, no one was getting too abstract, but it was really fun. It must be really tough to be one of those models and like hold a position for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that would really kind of suck to have like to not move, you know, for whatever
Yeah,
the
probably
duration of
yeah,
time is.
probably hurts. Well, the model last night was moving at times. Like he was holding a pose and then he'd just like have to stretch, and I would get really angry because I'm like, I'm working on the shading on your like, but then I would remember like, okay, I need to cut this guy some slack. Like really difficult to do, but I don't
Sure.
think that's common. I think that's what they're paid to do, is to not move.
Right.
But
So you yelled at him after 9 beers. Can you? I paid $20 to be in here.
hey, yeah, but yeah, it was pretty fun. I'll probably go back next week too. It's once a week on Wednesdays they do it. Um,
Once a week to drink 9 beers.
yeah,
And then maybe you draw, maybe you don't. Some weeks you do, some
yeah.
weeks you don't. Yeah.
Are you're from the West Coast?
Yeah. Orange
Born
County,
and born and raised?
born and raised.
You have an East Coast vibe, just saying.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good. No, I was just
It-
over there in October, and it was nice. I
yeah.
hadn't been in there in a few years to New York, like I was saying previously, and that was very nice to be back there and checking out stuff and eating pizza. And
Go to any shows or anything?
I did go to a show. I saw that band Mapache,
Oh
who
shit,
is
really?
a West
Nice.
Coast band,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
but seeing them in the
Yeah.
East.
The most West Coast band.
Maybe the
Yeah.
most. Yeah. Like
Yeah. They're
right at,
they're awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was really, really good.
Where is that at?
I want to say Brooklyn Made or Brooklyn Steel, maybe. But
Brooklyn Steel is gigantic. Like
okay, so not
that's
Brooklyn
a
Steel.
it was probably Brooklyn made.
Brooklyn Made. We'll go with Brooklyn
Yeah.
Made. As you
Yeah.
can tell, I'm not a native, but
New Yorker.
no.
Yeah.
Or New
Brooklyn
Jerseyan.
made Brooklyn made has a hot tub in the green room.
Yeah, it wasn't that place, but I've seen a picture of the hot tub. It
No,
says
no,
pretty
it
crazy.
was that place.
Oh,
It
it
was
was that place.
yeah.
Okay.
Brooklyn Steel doesn't have a hot tub. Brooklyn Made has a hot tub. Or
Okay.
no, it's not a hot tub. Maybe it's a pool. I won't go in there.
You wouldn't go in there?
A pool that how often do they clean it? You
I don't
got
know,
like some sweaty musicians going in every night.
but it's hot, so you got to take that into consideration. The temperature is killing off some bacteria there.
I don't know how that works.
I don't
I
know.
won't go in that.
I would definitely give it a go.
I want to put my head under. I'll say that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'll
Although you
dip my
shouldn't.
toes. I'll dip my toes in
Um,
it.
have you been inside? Have you been fully submerged within the pool within New York City before?
Yeah, yeah. There's one in like Greenpoint that I went with Jarvis like probably 10 years ago. I mean, not since I've lived here. I've been to the beach. You can get to the beach pretty easy here.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I really want to go to some of those Turkish baths I keep hearing about.
Oh, the Russian Turkish bathhouse. I
Yeah,
went there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go there.
Yeah, the Russian Turkish
Sounds
bathhouse. Yeah.
sounds nice.
There's pictures of people up there, like Jim Belushi goes there and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
They took a picture of him there?
Yeah, him and Dan Aykroyd and somebody else. I forgot the name of the guy.
Nice, nice. I'm trying to think of who else I've seen around. I've seen Peter Dinklage twice.
That's rad.
Yeah, he was walking his dog one time, and then another time he was just walking someone else. And I've seen who else have I seen? I've seen Rick Moranis a long time ago though. Whatever. This is boring.
That's no, I know, I love these kind of stories. Rick Moranis is somebody that you don't.
Right. This is before he was punched in the face the other year too.
Right,
Do
and
you
that
remember
was
when that happened? That was so awful.
That was in New York too, right?
Yeah. I saw Trevor Noah, the guy from The Daily Show, recently.
Oh, recently. Did you say why'd you leave? I got cable. I got cable TV.
Heard,
I'm on it.
Heard it here first on the Vineyard podcast. Breaking news.
Breaking.
Yeah, saw him. Who else have I feel like I've seen some other pretty crazy ones recently.
Speaking of Trevor Noah, though, he has a huge house in LA. Like a pretty big house. So it's kind of interesting that it's in New York. He lives in New York, but he also lives in LA. Kind of crazy.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. He's bi-coastal. What are you gonna do?
Crazy.
Yeah.
But
I miss Stewart. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean,
he was good.
He was pretty good. Jersey boy.
Oh yeah. Of course you love him. Clerks, probably love that one too.
I don't like Clerks. Clerks
okay.
is like not a good movie. I don't get it. It's for like 12-year-old boys.
That's probably when I watched it the first time.
Yeah. I tried rewatching it like a couple years ago, and we were just like, "This is awful. This is a bad movie." So not into Clerks. I did go to.
Please go ahead, John. Please. No.
I was gonna say something embarrassing.
Let's hear it.
So I was like, kind of happy that you cut me off for a second, but I drove to New Jersey to visit my family like last week, and we were listening to the Garden State soundtrack on the drive.
Classic New Jersey film, Zach Braff.
Yeah, classic.
And what is he doing now? I haven't seen him in anything as of late.
I don't know. Oh, when I went to a Rangers game recently, and they had like all this. They like put all the celebs that are in the audience on the jumbotron. There's so many. Ryan Reynolds was there. The lady, I forget her name, the lady from 30 Rock that's really funny with the blonde hair. She's so funny in 30 Rock. She was there. The guy who played Kumar from Harold and Kumar was there.
Cal Penn.
He's the only one that I feel like hasn't really been in anything in a while.
Well, he
So
went to
it
go
was
teach
kind
at
of,
Harvard or something like that. Something fucking
did he?
crazy. Yeah.
Damn, that's sick. Oh, and like the guy from, I don't know any of these actors' names, but the guy from Stranger Things, who's like the police officer in Stranger Things,
I don't know his
he
name.
was there too. And then
Is he
I
like
went to New
a
Jersey.
is he like an older guy with like a grumpy face kind of?
He's got like a beard. He's got like a Big Lebowski kind of vibe. He's cool. I love that guy. But yeah, obviously all these celebs at the Rangers game, and then when we went to the Jersey Devils game in Newark, how many celebs do you think were at that game?
Kevin Smith,
No,
Zach
no,
Braff.
zero. No,
Oh, Frank
no one's
Sinatra.
there.
Frank Sinatra's from New Jersey. It's like,
Yeah, he's dead.
yeah, but I mean, he was though. He
Yeah,
was from it. He was
yeah.
born in New Jersey.
There's a lot of people from New Jersey.
Hmm.
A lot.
There's a
I'm
Bruce
having a
Springsteen.
having a hard time thinking of anyone from. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen. That's a little obvious. I mean, come on.
He's the boss.
Patty
Everyone knows him.
Patty Patty Smith is from New Jersey.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Who else? I mean, that's why she has a because the night, like Bruce wanted to like collab with her because they're both Jersey natives.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen's most synonymous with New Jersey for sure. I think.
Yeah, he's really trying to ride that. He's been going for a while, saying like he's just a blue collar working New Jersey man. I never really liked Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just thought it sounded like Christmas music to me, like glockenspiels and stuff.
Sure.
Sounds like Christmas.
Glockenspiel's cool though.
Sounds like Christmas music. I don't know. Like, whatever. I respect him, but I never
Did,
really listened to him.
did you frequent the Steel Pony? I think is what it's called. That venue.
The Stone Pony.
Stone Pony.
Yeah, I played it once. Cutworms played the Stone Pony. We were opening for the Lemon Twigs, and it was really fun. That was like a venue that my whole life, like my dad's friends were always like, "You got to play the pony," and then I finally did, and none of them were there. Everyone who's from Jersey is like, "I'm from Jersey." It's annoying, honestly. I'm being that person right now. But
But is there anywhere that they don't rep the city hard that they're from?
like Delaware, like Wilmington, Delaware.
People rep
Like was
Wilmington, Burlington, Vermont.
no Wilmington, Delaware.
No, I'm just using that as an example as well. Burlington.
Do you think Tom Verlaine was like, I'm from like,
Yeah.
he's a New Yorker in everyone's eyes, but he's from Wilmington. I don't know.
Most people who live in New York are not from New York. They're all transplants, just like LA.
It's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
It attracts people to it.
But then they're New Yorkers, and it's like they have enough. That's what I'm saying. The Statue of Liberty, Staten Island, uh, the Jets, all that shit.
Sure.
I think it's just because the Statue of Liberty is facing New York. I think if we got a group of people together and we somehow just turn the Statue of Liberty back facing New Jersey,
It would
all
change it.
order would be restored, in my
Sure.
opinion.
That'd
Yeah.
be then you're even.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I like it. I'll sign your petition.
New York's just looking at the ass of liberty. It'd be poetic in a way.
Do you believe that when people say, let's have for instance here, somebody would say, "Oh, I'm from New York," but they were born in Jersey? Do you view them as truly being from New York or being from New Jersey since they were born there?
Um, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how long you've lived somewhere, really. I
Yeah,
mean, I used to say I was from New Hampshire when I met people. It's just easy. It's like I'm not going to be like, "Hey, I'm John. Oh, I'm from New Hampshire, but I'm really from New Jersey." You know, it's like I think you have to like live in a place for a second, pay your dues, and then you can say, "Yeah, I'm from New York." I don't think I would ever say I'm from New York, though. I haven't been living here long enough.
What's
I'm
what's
just
it?
I'm
What's the time duration? It has to. What's the when is it finally let
couple
up for you?
years.
Years. Okay.
Well, you could say I live in New York. You know, why you just tell people where you're from? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if they ask like, "Oh, where are you from?" and then you go, "Hey, I'm from New Hampshire or
Nah,
New
you
Jersey."
gotta tell them. You gotta tell them where you're really from.
Hmm.
You can say I'm from New Jersey, but I live in New York. Yeah, you gotta pay your dues. I think.
Okay. All right. I'm with it.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. You gotta cry on the subway. You have to all that stuff. Yeah.
Going back to the album here, John. Love for the underdog.
Yes.
Now, do you view yourself as an underdog?
Um. It's. I mean, that's. I don't know. We're any musician who's trying to like any artist who's trying to play music and in this world is in a way an underdog. But it's just I'm thankful and appreciative of the things that I do have. I'm not like crying that I you know am not selling out whatever like large venues, but I am still very much on like a DIY level. Like I play house shows and like in people's backyards, and like once in a while I'll play a cool venue, but I very much operate on like a DIY sense still. Um, and in doing so, you meet so many people who like maybe you wouldn't have met otherwise, that you're not seeing online publications writing about, that are still making really interesting art. And you know it's part of the theme of my record, I guess. I don't know.
Very nice.
But
Where
like I said, I'm very appreciative and lucky that I've been able to do everything that I have done. But you know, I'm not ignorant to that.
gotcha. Where was the most um non conventional place that you've played a show?
Um,
That you go, this is far from a venue,
I've
but it works.
played on a couple of farms this past summer. I did a tour of Maine where my friend Jess is a freelance farmer up there, and helped me book a bunch of shows in this, within distance of this farm, this blueberry farm. So we were working on the blueberry farm during the day and like camping there at night. And after like 3 or 4 p.m. when we were done working, we'd like drive to like this other farm stand, like 45 minutes away, that he knew a bunch of people, and I'd play a show there. So yeah, played on a couple of farms uh, this past summer. That was really fun. Um, played in
Doing the
a
farm circuit. Doing that farm
yeah,
circuit. Yeah.
hitting up that farm circuit. Yeah, yeah, and played in a laundromat a couple months ago in Ohio. It was so fun. It's just a straight up dinky little laundromat, and they have like a corner where they have a PA and bands like punk bands play there. I'm no punk band, but still played there.
You're from the
And
farmer
yeah,
circuit. Yeah.
there's
They won't let no punk bands play on the farms.
uh but that was really fun. But it also was really funny. Like I was like talking on the phone with my dad before the show, and he's like, "Where are you playing tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, this laundromat." And he's like, "That's what you're doing?" It was like, "How long have you been playing music for? And you're playing at a laundromat?" I'm like, "Well, it's like a DIY venue."
You go,
That's
hey, I gotta play this to play the pony. What do you want? There's steps in life. You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah. You didn't come to my pony performance. I don't know. I'll go with the laundromat for now. That was pretty different.
that's very different. What
Yeah.
is a space that is non-conventional that should be deemed as a fine place to play music? The laundromat or the farm or the third option?
Um, I just think outdoor backyard shows are so fun and a way better vibe overall than playing at any rock club. So just like, I don't know, more DIY house shows in general. I think
Yeah,
it's you know, it's at least fun to me.
it's yeah.
Even though now I am also like this guy in his 30s that's like playing house shows. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, is this weird? But no, I think it's fun. It's definitely more intimate, and I think people leave feeling like they got to like experience something more unique than just going to a rock club. I also really like playing in like gallery spaces too, like art galleries. Um, I feel like that usually lends to like a fun experience. I don't really like playing in like it depends. Like on the tour in Maine this past summer, we played in a bar, and it was just it was a different energy compared to when we were playing on farms and people are attentive and listening. We were just like in the corner playing, and people weren't really there to see music. Um, but I just kind of took that and ran with it. I was like, I'm not going to play my own songs because no one is here to see that. No one even knows it. So I'm just going to like fully embrace being a bar band right now. And I just like wrote down the chords to some songs that I had in mind in my book, and my drummer and I just did like a 2-piece like cover set, and it was fun.
What
Freebird.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
kind
good one.
yeah,
That's a good one to cover.
yeah.
What's
Um,
what do you think is the most popular cover song that like bar bands do cover like now?
bar bands, I don't know. Indie bands need to like chill out with covering "Harvest Moon" by Neil Young. I think we need to put that one to bed. Um, but bar bands, I don't know. I rang in the new year this year at this place, Got Sheer Hall in Ridgewood, and they have like a house, um, like like a metal cover band. Just like the dude that works at the bar, his band will play. They're all in their 50s and 60s, and rang in the new year to Ace of Spades. That was pretty sick. I came across this really sick hole in the wall bar in West Virginia called Troubadour Restaurant or Troubadour Bar and Cafe or something. And it was like no joke, like super legit backwoods, like country bar. Um, and it was amazing. They had all old photographs of like all the different country musicians that had played there in the past like 50 or 60 years. And I was just there by myself, and it was like a pool tournament was going on when I was there. Everyone was like showing up with their pool sticks. Um, and I ordered chicken nuggets, and it was like unedible. Like it was so bad, as you would expect at a place like this. Like couldn't even like finish it. But I wanted to like. They were real hesitant. They're like, "What is this kid with jersey plates that like looks like way different doing at this place?" So I wanted to like prove that I was like cool and I could hang. But I was like texting with one of my friends who's like into like, deep into country music. I was like, what should I put on the jukebox? Um, and I put on, uh, like Mama Tried, and there's a song called She's Acting Single, I'm Drinking Double by Gary Stewart, I think. Isn't his name?
I know the song you're referring to. I
Yeah.
don't remember. That's a good
Um,
song though. Yeah.
put that one on, and the bartender was like, "All right, I like what you're doing." So I was like, "Hell yeah!" I proved myself in this
Yeah.
this crazy bar. When
Put me in your
otherwise they
time.
were, yeah, they were like, "Who the hell is this kid? What is up with?" I was like writing in my journal at the bar.
That's amazing, John. I mean, this is what I gather from you. You're just chameleon socially. You go whatever
Yeah,
I need to be.
it had a big like kick his ass sea bass kind of vibe,
Like
like
the
Dumb and Dumber. Yeah,
right, or like Blues
yeah,
Brothers.
yeah.
The Blues Brothers bar. I forgot what that one was called.
Um, but yeah, that place was pretty sick. I guess the guy that originally owned it has since passed away, but he had like a radio show, and supposedly was like the first person to put Patsy Cline on the radio. She used to go to the radio station all the time and ask to perform, and he was like, and then he finally let her play. But who knows if that's true?
I've been really getting into Willie Nelson lately.
Nice.
So that's really
I've
good.
heard of him.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
lesser known guy. No, I've said it on here before. I'll say it again. The best performance I've ever seen of any musician has been Willie Nelson, hands
When
down.
did you see him? When was that?
Like 3 years ago or 4 years ago now.
Damn.
Yeah,
He's old. He's like really, really old.
he's quite an old man. Yeah, and it's incredible. Yeah, really
Well,
good.
I'm glad he's still able to rock out.
Yeah.
I'm 32 and
So
I don't know how
if
many,
Shotguns Willie is doing it at like 88 or 89,
something like that. He's old. Yeah.
you gotta be able to do it, John.
Yeah. High endurance. Do you
Yeah.
listen to Impossible Way of Life podcast?
No, but I'm glad you're plugging it on here.
I would say that's like my go-to. It's a great music podcast. It's really funny. You should listen
Okay.
to it.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Sure. Getting back to this
Sorry.
podcast. No, Impossible Way of Life. I will check that out. Do you listen to Nine Club? That one, Nine Club?
I love Nine. I stopped listening to Nine Club. I was really into Nine Club for a little bit, and then they just started to annoy. Like the hosts just annoyed me so much. So I started listening to The Bunt, and The
I
Bunt
was
is
just gonna mention that one. Yeah.
those dudes are so funny.
My good buddy Andrew put me onto The Bunt. He's like, dude, you got to listen to this.
They're so funny. And then they also do the thing at the end, like the rapid fire, when they're like worst company, worst style, and it's like funny because that's how skateboarders actually are. Nine Club is super posy and like super positive, which is great. That needs to also exist too.
Mhm.
And I respect that about Nine Club too.
Well, Chris Roberts, sorry you had to hear that. Trying to.
I love Chris Roberts. It's just some of the other guests.
It was already said. It was already said, John. No, name it. Rapid fire. Go right now.
Oh, dude, Kelly. I can't listen to the podcast.
Orange County native.
He's never gonna hear this. Oh shit, do you know him?
No, I don't know him, but I know that he's from
okay.
he's like Laguna area.
No, nice.
But I'm out here in the east, so we don't really cross paths too often. Also, I think he lives in LA, so or whatever.
I almost moved to LA this year. I almost did it after I was subletting in New York. I was like kind of over it for a second, and then I was like, I'm just gonna move to LA in the spring, and then my plans changed. So maybe someday I'll end up out there, but I'm here.
But where will you? Yeah, will you just stay in? I mean, after this little excursion to the west, will you go back to the east and just live out the rest of your days there?
Probably. But are you gonna come to my show in LA?
Oh, when is it, John?
May 5th.
May 5th. Yeah. At the where? At the
Permanent Records Roadhouse.
At Permanent Record Roadhouse. Great venue.
Never been.
Yes, I will be there. It's a great venue, and I will be there. And that'll be after the release of this new album, right, John?
Yeah, like a week later. Yeah.
And the new album is called Love for the Underdog, right?
Yeah.
And that's out April 28th via Woodsist, correct?
You got it. Yeah.
Whoa, man. No, but people can go pre-order that album now and that'll be out again. That's April 28th via
Yeah.
Woodsist.
New York, Kingston, Portland, Maine, LA, San Francisco, Bolinas. Be there.
And one journal entry through the shit kicker bar in Virginia.
Troubadour.
At the Troubadour.
Yeah.
And the people can go check out the single that's out now, which is Checks in the Mail, with the accompanied music video, which is very, very good. I highly
Checks in the
recommend it.
mail.
Bingo. Again, that's Love for the Underdog, out April 28th via Woodsist. You're going on tour soon. Maybe you're playing some shows. Let's just say that
Playing
you're
a couple shows. Hopefully, I'll do
shows.
more like touring, but I'm just playing a couple shows for now.
Mhm.
I don't have a booking agent because no one will be my booking agent.
Let's find John a booking agent. Booking
Yeah.
agents, go see John about it. And but before April 28th, if you need to get reacquainted with John's music, you can do that by streaming his music anywhere that you get your music. That's where you can find it. And there's some really cool official music videos on YouTube that John has made. They're official video. I don't know if they're in brackets, but I'm co-signing that right now. And be sure to go check that out and go follow John on Instagram. Is it John Andrews in the Yawns?
It's John J. Andrews.
John J. Andrews in the Yawns. No, just John J. Andrews.
John Jandrews. Yeah. John
J. Andrews on Instagram. Keep up to date with everything, news, tours, shows, all that good stuff. And Tech Decks. Is it this? That's the same one that you got, but it's not a Baker. It's okay. All right. Thanks, Jim Greco. John,
thank you.
You're awesome.
Signing out. Are you gonna hang up?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna end it on that, but
okay.
It would have been cooler.
So the episode's over now.
That's it. We're done until the third one. John, you're awesome. I'm gonna talk to you in a minute. Thank you, man.